These guys are evil bastards. They're fascists. They're aiming to take over our government, to destroy our democracy.
This summer, I spent my Saturday afternoons at the World Trade Center, speaking with conspiracy theorists who believe that 9/11 was not the fault of Middle Eastern terrorists, but that it was more likely the work of our own government. That Osama bin Laden is actually a CIA operative, and that many of the passengers that died on the planes actually government plants. And they feel the best place to tell people about this is at Ground Zero. First, who are these people? What do they really believe? And can they be fucked with? Oh yes! America, this is for you. This is how we're giving back. Because, well, we just don't do a lot of charity work.
This wasn't a real actual terrorist attack, this was actually an inside job. Because what the official story wants us to believe is that a bunch of amateur pilots who barely had that much good flight training could actually crash this place into a building the way that they did.
It had to be by demolition, by very high-powered military explosives. That's the only way it could have been done.
There's 47 steel columns, and they came straight down at the speed of gravity. There was explosives at the basement of the building.
Wacky.
We think that Giuliani with his bunker. Giuliani had a bunker that was built in 7 World Trade Center. And some of the theory is that the bunker was used as a way of having an infrared or some other form of beam that would bring the planes into this area.
Infrared? Remote control planes? What is this, Xbox? Anyway, there are two different camps in the truth movement. We'll get this guy to explain.
What's the LIHOP, MIHOP?
LIHOP, MIHOP. Okay. LIHOP is an acronym. It means let it happen on purpose. MIHOP is make it happen on purpose.
So it has nothing to do with IHOP versus the Waffle House.
Do you like waffles or pancakes?
I actually like the waffles better than the pancakes.
Conspiracy theorists love to distribute bullshit to the soothing sounds of folk music.
And coming at you, racing up the charts, #1 with a bullet is Tin Hat Tim with MIHOP LIHOP on Conspiracy Radio. Turn it up.
Was the Pentagon building hit by an aeroplane? And if it wasn't, can you explain? Was the new Pearl Harbor the aim of the attack? And is that the reason that we are in Iraq?
So let's see. Controlled demolition, pretty stupid. Remote control planes, downright nuts. But strap in your seatbelts, kids, because we are going straight to the deepest recesses of La La Land.
I don't think any planes have hit the buildings at all.
Right. I don't think any planes hit the buildings.
It was a giant hologram.
There was no, it's not a hologram. There were ideas at a certain stage that it was a hologram, but those kind of disappeared. And now the prevailing no planes theories are that there were no planes.
Explain the no planes. I saw 2 planes go into buildings.
You personally?
I saw it.
Wait a second. Where were you standing?
I was here.
Where? Doing what? What were you doing?
No, I can't.
Were you on your way to work? Were you waiting for the buildings to come? What were you?
Wait a minute. So,
what do you mean you saw it?
You have me stupefied, sir. I really don't know how you can say there's no building, no planes at the buildings. I'm fascinated.
There were no hijackers and no planes.
Holy shit, this guy is fucked. We can laugh, others get pissed, including those who had friends die that day.
You're saying it was an inside job. How do we know you wasn't in on it since you know so much about it?
I was out of the country, actually.
Well, you need to be out of the country still. Thank you.
Not here with your filth and your lies and your bullshit! Fucking creeps! You shame yourself, you dirtbag shit!
Tell him.
Who did it? The goddamn terrorists, that's who did it! Asshole!
Who funded the terrorists?
Who the hell do you think? Iran and Syria!
Who did Osama bin Laden work
Wake
for?
up!
Who did Osama bin Laden work for?
Wake up! Get out of here!
I'm with you,
Get out of here! You're going to get your ass kicked and beat it! Beat it!
Why are you
Get out!
screaming at us?
Get out of here!
Why are you raising your
Because I
voice?
had people die in this fucking building, you understand?
So did I.
You're telling me this shit was inside?
I'm not telling
Wake
you.
up!
Why are you yelling at me?
Wake up, stupid!
Why are you yelling at me?
Get out of here!
Hey,
Get out!
Why are you yelling at me?
Get out of here!
Why are you yelling at me?
You want to stand around here?
What are you yelling at
Don't
me?
be here 10 minutes from now.
Why are you yelling at me?
Sir.
Because you're a schmuck.
I'm opposed to these guys.
Okay.
I'm opposed to them. But it is.
Hey, get out of here. Get your ass out.
Why are you telling me to leave?
Goddamn terrorist.
Why are you pointing
Get out of here.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you're a schmuck.
Terrorists in the White
Get
House.
out of here.
Terrorists in the White
You're full
House.
of shit.
They're in the White House.
George
Don't
Bush,
yell. Don't
put
yell
on your
like that.
fucking
They're in the White
knees.
House.
You'll be damn glad Bush is doing what he's doing, asshole. Get out of here, it's stupid. Goddamn terrorists.
Don't let them ruin your day, okay? Don't let them ruin your day.
After further research into 9/11, I've discovered a plot more sinister, more dangerous, that goes deeper than the FBI, CIA, and the Illuminati all put together. I did it. That's right. I took a look at the facts. And the fact is, there's just as much evidence the government was involved as there is that I was. September 17th, 1976, Abby Scott is born in Peoria, Illinois. Interesting skyline. Remind you of any other cities? Bum bum bum. Later, Abby Scott loses her virginity to a man from Pakistan in the same hemisphere as Saudi Arabia. I'm just asking questions here. Finally, did you know that my dad was in the military? 2 + 2? 4 people. 4. Investigate that. To show how easy it is to create a conspiracy, I took my evidence downtown to beat these nimrods at their own game. I was, rather timid at first. I'm not with the conspiracy. There's as much evidence that I did it than the government was involved. I'm apart from them. I'm not with them. I'm not with them! There's as much, I'm just commenting on them, man. There's as much evidence that I was involved than 9/11 people were involved. Conspiracy theorists, they're liars! Move over, Anderson Cooper, and get ready for Abby Scott, mumbler extraordinaire. It did start to get better, though. They say that the phone calls made to loved ones from the planes were faked. And then they say that they're representing the families, that they're fighting for them. But obviously they don't know their own children. Take a look at this. Take a look at all the coincidences about me. Was I responsible? Hey, I'm saying there should be an investigation into me. There should be an investigation into me. Exactly. Getting laughs. I finally got people to understand what I was doing. Here's the first guy that got it. Jeez! My buddy Ray made friends with a particularly shy truther.
So it's like they have different people for different things. Like he's good at yelling, so they got him. The yelling, and you're good at just handing out papers.
Yeah.
Because like you don't have much information.
To that part where I could just spew it out.
You haven't got good at the yelling yet.
Yeah.
You need to practice.
I can't do it.
Practice yelling right now. Just yell at the camera. Just yell. Are there a lot of women in the 9/11? Was an inside job?
Yes, 9/11 Truth Movement. That's what we call it.
9/11 Truth Movement. Okay. Any cuties? I'm not saying you're not cute. I'm just saying that, Okay. Good. Think of pickpocketing people because he could stop them with his yelling, and then you could just you'd make a lot of money over the weekend. Look at all these people, thousands of dollars. Look at that lady right there. You could totally take her Snapple. You could totally take her Snapple. She wouldn't even notice. She wouldn't even know. She'd be dumbfounded. About a minute later.
These 9/11 deniers believe they found their smoking gun, the exact explosive compound that brought down the towers, because apparently 2 giant jetliners weren't enough.
Thermite? Thermite. Thermite. Thermite, actually. Thermite. Thermite? Thermite. Thermite.
You wanted me to talk about thermite?
There's no dialogue with these guys. They just have this internal CD that's played on repeat over and over again, even if someone proves their facts false.
There is absolutely no evidence of controlled demolition. Zero. says that is categorically false, that representation of his view. Categorically false. You can't get more of a scientific refutation than that.
That's total bullshit.
You're the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Now explain to me what this is.
Oxyacetylene torches. I've got hundreds of pictures of these columns being
Oxyacetylene
cut.
torches, right?
I've got hundreds of the same pictures. You can see the torch marks on there.
That's not an oxyacetylene torch. It was cut by thermite.
Have you talked to an iron
You
worker?
see traces
Have you talked to an iron worker here?
We now
Have you
have
talked to a single iron worker here?
conclusive proof that there's a residue of sulfur on the steel. And what happened to the steel, my friend? It got whisked out of here within a matter of weeks.
What
It
was
was
the third
gone.
most used ingredient in the entire construction of this site? Sulfur-based drywall.
Sulfur-based drywall.
What was the thousands of gallons of fuel that were leaking down here? Sulfur in there.
What fuel? From where?
Thermite, 2% sulfur. 2%. Where's the aluminum oxide? Where's the barium oxide?
You wanna
Say,
see-
I don't know what I'm talking
You
about.
want to see where the aluminum oxide is?
Say, I don't know what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
I'll show you where the aluminum oxide is.
All you need to do is go to this
Here's
site
the
here.
aluminum
It
oxide.
refutes
Here's
every
a s-
single point they make.
Here is a
Everyone-
sequence
They are wrong about every single
of the.
and they're doing it, they're lying at ground zero.
Why, if the fires were not as hot, why did people jump out? Were they in on it?
Because they jumped.
Were they paid to jump?
They were paid to jump.
They weren't at this point. They were trapped in the floors above. They saw there was no way out. They jumped.
Oh,
So we're talking about
not because it was hot.
200 people committed suicide
Because it was fucking hot, dude.
because they saw it was the smoke. There was no way out.
That's right.
Okay, all right. It was hot. You know, you're right. It was hot. 300 degrees is one thing when it comes to steel, but it's another thing when it comes to flesh. Okay, so 300 degrees is nothing when it comes to steel.
What proof do you have that it was only 300 degrees?
I'm coming to that.
And it's not. I don't want pictorial proof.
You don't want picture. You don't want proof. Period.
How are you going to prove temperature with a picture?
I think you guys are more helping the government than anything.
How are we helping the government? Right.
Distracting people from doing things like learning about the Patriot Act, but like by being psycho, like involved in these kind of facts.
I'm glad you brought up the Patriot Act. 6 weeks after 9/11, we get the Patriot Act rammed through Congress, right, with nobody even reading it.
Exactly, and nobody's reading it because they're too busy looking at videos on YouTube.
No, they're too
and like
busy.
bringing clips on with
They
soundtracks.
had 5 years to read
Google
it.
Video versus the New York Times.
5 years of opportunity to read the
That's right,
Patriot
yeah.
Act.
Google Video is the better way to get your news, right?
No,
YouTube
Fox.
is where I get that.
Fox is better.
I agree. I hate Fox, but I'm not going to give her my information from MySpace. Well, they ain't listening to evidence. Plan B? Balls out, make fun of them. We brought our own signs. They decided the only way we could have come up with such brilliant comedy was if we were CIA agents and Israeli spies.
People have a religion. They want to believe in what they believe in. Yeah, look at this Mossad agent.
Ooh, I'm Mossad now.
Hey guys, I got accused of being Mossad. I think it's because of my dark hair.
Mossad? It's very exciting, but they actually got them to move. And now they've been inconvenienced. Check it out. They now have to hold the signs. Since then, I've gone back a few times. I've gotten cursed at. I've had water thrown at me. It's a strange hobby, hanging out with people that hate you. But as long as they keep shitting on the grave of 3000 with falsities and bad science, I'll keep annoying and inconveniencing them. That and they're extremely entertaining. I know I'm not going to change any conspiracy theorist minds, but I've learned something. If I just stick to the courage of my convictions, I reach a much braver place in myself. Just like the little truther that could.
Hey, you're on the banner. You made the banner today.
Yeah.
All right, cool. See? The American dream. You think it could happen.
Whether it's lie hop or whether it's my hop, we need to know the truth and make this war stop. Whether it's lie hop or whether it's my hop, we need to know the truth and make this war stop. Whether it's lie hop or whether it's my hop, we need to know the truth and make this war stop. Whether it's lie hop or whether it's my hop, We need to know the truth and make this war stop.
The fire is a fire. I don't know. You know, you're right. It was hot. Just take a deep breath, relax for a minute, and you'll understand what I'm saying. Rebut that argument.
Channel this. Tribecanet.
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 Say it, hear it, spin it, wear it, watch it, see it, sell it, buy it, make it any way you want. Tribecanet.
Channel that.
On the outside looking in. And I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside.